you ever set a big goal, decided on your strategy, and then somewhere along the path, you self-sabotaged your own success? Raising my hand, been there, done that, got the t-shirt. In this video, I'm going to share why we do this. And once you identify the reason why, I'll give a few ideas on how to stop this cycle, stop this pattern from happening again. Hello, welcome. My name is Kaye Putnam. I'm the psychology-driven brand strategist. I'm so thrilled that you are here. Thanks for hanging out in my orbit. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I publish a new video on branding, entrepreneurship, and psychology. There's two primary reasons why, as entrepreneurs, business owners, humans, we self-sabotage. The first reason that we often do this is poor energy management. I know you've heard the phrase time management over and over and over again, but as entrepreneurs, it's actually our energy management that is most important. And one of the first ways that we need to give ourselves energy is to have some type of vision, some goal that we're working towards, that we are lit up about, we're excited about. Sure, you might set your goal at some specific monetary value, but why are you going there? Why is that important to you and to your life? If you don't have that decided yet, it can feel fruitless to continue working so hard. We have to know where we're going to have that pull us into our future. The second thing with energy management is you have to have the capacity to create the kind of success, to reach the kind of goals that you're setting for yourself. Your results are never going to outpace your energy. So what does this mean? First of all, you have to be taking care of the vessel. How are you eating? How are you sleeping? Are you drinking water? I'm sure you've seen the quote on Pinterest or Instagram that says, make sure that you're fed, you're watered, and you're getting sunshine, because we are basically just houseplants with emotions. Essentially, have you set the conditions, both in your brain and your body and your lifestyle, to be able to do the work that you want to do? If you're constantly running on fumes, or if you're constantly having to beg, borrow, and steal 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, chances are you're not going to have the capacity to create and get to the place that you want to get to. So take a look at your thoughts, your actions, your habits, your mindset, and your schedule to make sure that you have enough space to create the kind of success that you want to create. And this includes taking breaks, because if you are constantly on the go, if you're trying to get 25 hours of work done in the 18 hours that you're awake without any breaks, without any recharging time, you're going to find that you're just not capable of that. No human is. So give yourself some slack. Reel back what you're either going to accomplish, or make some more space in your life for the accomplishments that you are setting out to do. Otherwise, you're going to end up binging on the couch on Netflix, watching Netflix, eating a pint of ice cream, and berating yourself for not reaching those really big goals. But that's not your fault if you haven't created the capacity, the ability, the container to succeed at the level that you want to succeed at. Always remember that your willpower is finite. The more that you're expecting your brain to be in that creative mode, the more decisions that you have to make throughout the day, the more and more fatigued that you're going to get. And if you're compounding that with not sleeping, not eating, not taking care of yourself, it's no wonder our bodies and our minds self-sabotage, right? To our mind, that goal that we're reaching towards means certain death because it's taking away from our health, our safety, and our comfort. So we're going to find ways to self-sabotage if we haven't first set the groundwork to be able to get to where we want to go. The second reason why we self-sabotage as humans is because our unconscious brain is the guardian of your comfort zone. It means well, it's trying to keep you alive, but if anything that you're moving towards is threatening what you already know and what you're already comfortable with, your unconscious mind is going to find ways to self-sabotage that goal that you're reaching towards. Like we said, it's benevolent. It's trying to keep us safe. It's trying to keep us protected. To figure out if your brain is doing this, ask yourself this question. What do I benefit or what do I preserve by not accomplishing my goal? That might sound crazy because of course we want to get to the goals that we set, but there's probably some part of you that is feeling some fear, feeling some resistance, feeling some imposter syndrome around reaching that goal. Maybe you grew up in a home or in a family where really wealthy people were talked down on. They were the crooks. They were people who didn't care about the common person. And if you were to reach a money goal that went beyond your comfort zone of what you grew up in or what you've experienced so far in life, your subconscious mind might be sabotaging that because it doesn't want you to be one of those crooked, unkind people. So you might have to do some work around changing your beliefs before you'll be able to stop self-sabotaging yourself. And sometimes self-sabotage doesn't even look that bad. Maybe you're not sitting on the couch watching Netflix. Maybe you are perfecting your craft. You're spending time getting certifications or learning or making whatever you're selling perfect before you bring it to market. But that in itself is a form of self-sabotage because you're protecting yourself by not putting your work out into the world to be judged. Chances are there is some reservation, there's protection that's happening around that idea of being judged. I can personally relate to this point in regards to this video. I literally spent 4 hours this morning doing meaningless busy work and distracting myself because I was feeling self-conscious and I was feeling a need for perfection with recording new YouTube videos. Now, this is silly. I've done this hundreds of times now, but every time that I'm doing it, I'm raising the bar for myself. I'm trying to get better. I'm pushing myself to be more articulate, to be more entertaining, to share my knowledge in a new way, and also to shift a little bit to include more of this energy and mindset work that is beneath building a brand. And because I'm forging new paths, it feels unfamiliar. It feels a little bit scary, you get a little bit nervous, and then the subconscious brain gets straight to work making sure that, okay, I got this. Let me make sure that you don't make a fool of yourself and ruin your entire business. Now, of course, that is unlikely, but our subconscious mind thinks in absolutes. It doesn't want us to die, so it keeps us safe where we know and pushes off putting ourselves out there for another day. If you ever find yourself in this situation, it's up to you to reframe the work that you're doing to flip the script on that discomfort. You have to literally make the discomfort of staying still, of staying where you're at, of not achieving the goal more risky than staying still. Does that make sense? You have to make sure that the risk of not achieving your goal is greater than the risk that you're taking by putting yourself out there. We've already established that our brain hates change. It doesn't like ambiguity. So you can break up your project into small little baby steps to make it feel more manageable so that your brain can wrap its head around what you're about to do. You can also condense the time frame, which is a little bit counterintuitive, but it removes some of those perfectionist tendencies that we all have. So instead of me having all day to record these videos, I probably should have just given myself a 2-hour window to get through a bunch of videos, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity to distract myself and to procrastinate for so long. And then to increase that risk of not doing anything, you can also enroll accountability partners. So that might look like a course that you invest in. So you're putting some financial risk on the line of not taking action. And then you're also getting the added support of a community, of the momentum that happens in a group program or in a group setting. You could hire an accountability coach. You could hire a brand consultant, somebody who's going to keep you moving forward, both because you've invested in that person's help, and second, because you're taking some of that ambiguity out of the process. You're enlisting somebody's help who's been there before. So what is it for you? Is it energy management that you're going to focus on? Or is it more of this unconscious protection that your brain is doing that you need to reframe and create some new boundaries around? Or maybe it's both. No matter which it is, I have full confidence that with this increased awareness, you are going to reach that incredible goal that you have, and know that I am in your corner. I cannot wait to hear about your progress and to hear about your aha moments from this video. We need you to share your genius with the world, and you can't do that if you keep self-sabotaging yourself. So let's do this. Let's get to work. Let's appease our brain in the process so that we can share our genius and impact the people that we're meant to impact in this world. If you found this helpful, hit the thumbs up in this video or share it with your business friends. I would be so honored and thankful for your help spreading the word. I'll see you guys next time.